atmosphere across Nigeria changed within moments after reports began spreading that a group of United States observers had landed quietly in Abuja, under circumstances that immediately sparked intense national debate. Inside political circles, inside courtrooms, inside media houses, and even inside crowded markets from Lagos to Onitsha, one question exploded into public discussion. Why are international observers suddenly paying close attention to the NNAMDI KANU matter at this critical stage of Nigeria's political and security climate? Supporters of NNAMDI KANU reacted almost instantly with celebration and renewed confidence. Across several communities in the southeast, reactions poured onto social media platforms as thousands described the reported arrival as a possible turning point in a case that has remained one of the most emotional and controversial legal battles in modern Nigerian history. The excitement among supporters was impossible to ignore. Chants demanding justice grew louder online, while emotional videos and live broadcasts flooded the internet throughout the day. In Abuja, however, the mood inside government circles appeared completely different. Tension reportedly spread across sensitive offices as speculation intensified over the exact mission of the foreign observers. While no official statement immediately confirmed the details of their activities, political analysts quickly began connecting the development to growing international attention surrounding concerns over human rights, due process, and regional stability. The sudden silence from several key officials only deepened public curiosity. For years, the NNAMDI KANU case has remained more than just a courtroom matter. It evolved into a symbol of political division, ethnic tension, national security fears, and competing narratives about justice in Nigeria. Every court appearance has triggered nationwide reactions. Every legal argument has divided opinions across regions and political affiliations. Every development has carried emotional weight for millions of Nigerians, both at home and abroad. Now, the alleged arrival of United States observers has pushed emotions to another level entirely. Reports circulating within diplomatic and media circles claimed that the observers may be monitoring judicial proceedings and broader political conditions linked to the case. Though official confirmation remained limited, the mere suggestion of foreign involvement immediately transformed the atmosphere in Abuja into one of uncertainty and strategic caution. To every single person watching this broadcast right now, thank you for standing with this channel through every breaking story, every national crisis, and every emotional moment that shapes our country. This platform was created to give ordinary people a voice, to bring you the truth as events unfold, and to keep you informed when the nation needs clarity the most. But we cannot continue this journey without your support. If you truly believe in fearless journalism, if you believe Nigerians deserve real updates without silence or distraction, then this is the moment to support this movement by subscribing to the channel. Your subscription may look small, but it helps this platform grow stronger every single day. It helps us reach more people. It helps us continue bringing you breaking news, deep analysis, and emotional stories that matter to our nation and our future. Please subscribe right now, turn on the notification bell, and become part of this growing family, because the next major story could break at any moment, and you deserve to hear it first here. Supporters of NNAMDI KANU described the development as a sign that the world was finally paying attention. Many claimed it represented international acknowledgement of long-standing concerns raised by activists and legal advocates. Videos began circulating showing celebrations in different parts of the southeast as citizens expressed hope that external pressure could influence future legal outcomes. Emotional speeches from supporters called for peace, fairness, and transparency, while warning against actions capable of worsening regional tensions. Meanwhile, critics of the growing international attention warned against foreign interference in Nigeria's internal affairs. Some political commentators argued that the country's sovereignty and judicial independence must remain protected at all costs. Others insisted that Nigeria remains fully capable of handling its own legal and constitutional matters without international pressure or influence. The debate became increasingly heated as television stations, newspapers, and online platforms turned the issue into the dominant national conversation of the day. Inside Abuja, security presence reportedly intensified around sensitive government locations as authorities monitored reactions closely. Observers noticed increased movement around certain areas connected to diplomatic activity, while speculation continued spreading at alarming speed. Political insiders claimed emergency consultations may have taken place behind closed doors, as officials evaluated possible implications of the situation. For many ordinary Nigerians, the emotional intensity surrounding the case reflects deeper frustrations affecting the nation. Economic hardship, insecurity, political distrust, and ethnic divisions have already created a fragile national atmosphere. As a result, every development linked to NNAMDI KANU now carries enormous emotional and political consequences. To supporters, he represents resistance and the demand for fairness. To critics, he remains a controversial figure whose actions raised serious national security concerns. These sharply divided perceptions continue shaping reactions across the country. Across social media platforms, hashtags linked to the story exploded within hours. Thousands of users demanded transparency regarding the mission of the United States observers. Others urged calm and restraint, warning against misinformation and emotional manipulation. Videos claiming to show celebrations, protests, and political meetings spread rapidly despite limited verification. The digital atmosphere became chaotic as influencers, activists, and commentators competed to shape public opinion. Legal experts also entered the national conversation with powerful observations. Some argued that international attention on high-profile legal cases is not unusual, especially when issues of human rights and political stability are involved. Others warned that excessive politicization of the judiciary could damage public confidence in legal institutions. Senior lawyers appearing on television debates emphasized the importance of protecting due process while avoiding inflammatory rhetoric capable of escalating tensions. Within the Southeast, emotions remained especially intense. Community leaders urged citizens to remain peaceful while awaiting clearer information about the purpose of the observers' visit. Religious figures delivered emotional messages calling for unity, dialogue, and wisdom during what many described as a sensitive national moment. Traditional rulers reportedly held consultations with local stakeholders as uncertainty continued spreading. As evening approached, pressure mounted on federal authorities to issue a formal clarification regarding the reports dominating national headlines. Yet, the silence from several official channels only increased speculation. Some citizens interpreted the silence as evidence of high-level concern, while others believed authorities were simply attempting to avoid unnecessary escalation. Regardless of interpretation, the atmosphere remained tense and emotionally charged. International attention on Nigeria has increased significantly in recent years due to security concerns, economic instability, and political tensions. The NNAMDI KANU case became one of the most globally discussed legal matters connected to the country. Human rights organizations, foreign observers, and diaspora groups have repeatedly expressed interest in developments surrounding the issue. Therefore, reports involving American observers arriving in Abuja immediately attracted worldwide attention. Political analysts warned that the federal government now faces an extremely delicate situation. Any perceived overreaction could intensify criticism both locally and internationally. At the same time, Any appearance of weakness could create political backlash from groups demanding stronger enforcement of national security policies. Balancing these pressures has become increasingly difficult for authorities navigating an already tense political environment. For supporters of NNAMDI KANU, however, the emotional significance of the moment overshadowed every political calculation. Many described the reports as a sign of hope after years of legal uncertainty and emotional struggle. Families affected by violence and instability in the southeast expressed cautious optimism that increased international attention might encourage peaceful dialogue and eventual reconciliation. Others simply prayed for justice, peace, and healing for the entire nation. Throughout the night, television discussions continued examining possible outcomes of the situation. Could international attention influence future legal proceedings? Could diplomatic pressure encourage political negotiation? Could rising emotions trigger fresh unrest or renewed calls for calm? These questions dominated national discourse as Nigerians waited anxiously for official statements and clearer information. In the middle of the growing tension, one reality remained undeniable. The NNAMDI KANU matter has evolved far beyond an ordinary legal dispute. It has become deeply connected to questions of identity, justice, governance, security, and the future direction of Nigeria itself. Every new development now carries explosive emotional power, capable of influencing national conversations for days or even weeks. As reactions continued pouring in from across the country and beyond, many Nigerians called for wisdom from all sides. Community leaders, activists, politicians, and ordinary citizens emphasized the urgent need to avoid inflammatory actions capable of worsening tensions. Appeals for peaceful dialogue became louder as fears of political instability mixed with hopes for justice and reconciliation. For now, the nation watches closely. Abuja remains tense, supporters remain energized, government circles remain cautious, international observers remain the subject of intense speculation, and millions of Nigerians continue asking the same haunting question: what happens next in the unfolding drama surrounding one of the most controversial and emotional political cases in the history of modern Nigeria? As midnight approached across different parts of Nigeria, the tension surrounding the arrival of the reported United States observers only continued to grow stronger. Inside homes, inside buses, inside restaurants, and across crowded streets, conversations remained focused on one issue. What exactly is happening behind the scenes in Abuja? Political analysts appearing on late-night television programs described the moment as one of the most delicate political situations the country has faced in recent times. Some argued that the federal government was now under enormous international scrutiny. Others insisted that the judiciary must remain independent and protected from both internal pressure and foreign influence. Yet, despite the different opinions, one thing remained clear. The emotional impact of the development had already shaken the country deeply. Reports from several southeast communities showed that many citizens stayed awake throughout the night following live updates from media platforms and political commentators. Supporters of NNAMDI KANU gathered in small groups discussing possible outcomes while praying for what they described as justice and freedom. Some elderly citizens became emotional during interviews, saying they had waited years to see the world pay closer attention to the situation. Younger supporters flooded social media with emotional messages, declaring that a new chapter may finally be approaching. At the same time, concerns over security continued spreading. Authorities reportedly increased monitoring across strategic locations amid fears that misinformation or political provocation could ignite unnecessary unrest. Security analysts warned citizens against spreading unverified claims capable of escalating tensions across already sensitive regions. Several political observers noted that Nigeria was entering a dangerous phase where perception itself could become as powerful as reality. Inside Abuja, Rumors of emergency consultations continued dominating discussions. Unconfirmed reports claim that senior government officials held private meetings to assess diplomatic implications connected to the NNAMDI KANU matter. Although no official details emerged, the growing silence from powerful figures only intensified speculation nationwide. Many Nigerians interpreted the silence differently. Some believed the federal government was carefully preparing its next move. Others believed authorities were attempting to avoid adding fuel to an already explosive atmosphere. Meanwhile, international news platforms also began paying closer attention to developments unfolding in Nigeria. Foreign commentators described the situation as another major test for Nigeria's democratic institutions and judicial credibility. Human rights activists outside the country renewed calls for fairness, transparency, and peaceful engagement from all sides involved in the matter. Back within Nigeria, reactions from political groups became increasingly dramatic. Some opposition figures accused the government of mishandling sensitive national issues linked to the Southeast crisis. Others defended the administration strongly, insisting that national security must remain the highest priority regardless of emotional pressure or international attention. The divide in public opinion became sharper with every passing hour. In several radio stations across the country, callers expressed frustration, anger, hope and fear all at once. Some Nigerians said they were tired of endless political tension and simply wanted peace restored across every region. Others insisted that true peace could never exist without justice and dialogue. The emotional weight of the conversation reflected the deep wounds many citizens believe still exist beneath the surface of Nigeria's political system. As dawn slowly approached, tension inside the southeast reportedly remained high but calm. Community leaders continued appealing for restraint while encouraging citizens to avoid violence or provocative actions. Religious leaders delivered passionate overnight messages, urging Nigerians to remember the value of unity even during periods of disagreement and uncertainty. Several churches and prayer groups reportedly organized special prayers focused on peace, justice, and national stability. At the center of the storm remained NNAMDI KANU himself. For supporters, every international development connected to his case now represents possible hope after years of courtroom battles and emotional political conflict. For critics, however, the growing international attention risks encouraging dangerous political narratives capable of destabilizing national unity. These conflicting views continue colliding across every level of Nigerian society. Political insiders also warned that the situation could influence future political calculations ahead of upcoming national elections. The Southeast remains an emotionally sensitive region politically, and any major developments connected to NNAMDI KANU carries enormous implications for national unity, voter sentiment, and regional stability. Some analysts even describe the unfolding situation as a defining political moment capable of reshaping conversations far beyond the courtroom itself. By early morning, newspapers across the country carried dramatic headlines connected to the story. Television presenters opened their programs with emotional commentary, while online blogs published minute-by-minute speculation about possible diplomatic and legal developments. Across markets and motor parks, ordinary Nigerians debated passionately about what the reported arrival of foreign observers truly meant for the future of the case. For many citizens struggling with hardship and insecurity, the story became symbolic of larger frustrations surrounding governance, justice, and accountability in Nigeria. The emotional intensity surrounding the matter also exposed the growing power of social media in shaping political narratives. Within hours, countless videos, opinions, and dramatic claims had already circulated widely across the internet. Some posts celebrated supposed diplomatic breakthroughs, while others warned of political conspiracy and foreign manipulation. Fact-checkers struggled to contain the flood of misinformation spreading rapidly online. Despite the chaos, Many Nigerians continued demanding one thing above all else: transparency. Citizens across different regions called on authorities to communicate clearly with the public in order to reduce speculation and tension. Many argued that silence only creates room for dangerous rumors capable of deepening national anxiety. Others appealed to political actors and activists to avoid statements that could inflame emotions further. As another day began in Nigeria, uncertainty still hung heavily over Abuja and the rest of the country. Questions continued multiplying faster than answers. What discussions are taking place behind closed doors? What role will international observers truly play? Could diplomatic engagement influence future developments in the NNAMDI KANU case? Or will the growing tension push the nation into an even more complicated political confrontation? For now, nobody knows with certainty. But what cannot be denied is that Nigeria has entered another emotionally charged chapter in one of the most sensitive political sagas in its modern history. The streets remain tense. The conversations remain emotional. The political atmosphere remains unpredictable. And millions of Nigerians continue watching every development with hope, fear, anger and anticipation as the unfolding drama surrounding NNAMDI KANU and the reported arrival of United States observers continues shaking the nation to its core. Many times these stories are emotional. Many times they are difficult. But through it all, this channel remains committed to keeping you informed because information is power and uninformed people can never be silenced. If these reports have helped you in any way, if this channel has kept you connected to the truth during uncertain moments, then please take 1 second to support us by subscribing right now. When you subscribe, you are not just joining a YouTube channel. You are joining a powerful community of people who care about truth, justice, and the future of our nation. Please press the subscribe button, like this video, and turn on notifications so you never miss any breaking updates. Your support means more than words can explain, and together we will continue bringing the stories that others are afraid to tell. Thank you for watching.